Mr. Beach, since we are talking about the perception, like as you said, Pakistan is hugely misunderstood back in the US. And then the perception in Pakistan is like we go back, US and Pakistan, you know, let's not go back to 1947, let's start from 80s, Afghan war, we had the strategic partnership, etc., etc. But then there is a perception in Pakistan that we were abandoned. For example, abrupt withdrawal from Afghanistan, the weapons which were left behind, now the same weapons have been used by the band, you know, the TTP and other band outfits against Pakistan. It was a huge mistake.
It was not just, it was one of the most embarrassing days as an American that I've ever had. The pullout in Afghanistan was disgraceful, would be too nice. Now those same weapons are being used against Pakistan. President Trump has been very clear he wants all those weapons back. I think Pakistan could play a very interesting role in that, in a partnership. I will tell you, most things the Democrats touch burn. And I will tell you that they've destroyed every bridge you can imagine. Now is a time to build bridges. Now is a time to build businesses. Now is the time to build foundational principles. Yes, America and Pakistan go back many, many years. Heck, Jackie Kennedy was flying on Pakistan Airways, right? So incredible, right? She was an amazing First Lady. Probably Melania is the most beautiful First Lady, most amazing First Lady we've had since Jackie Kennedy. She's truly incredible. So it's a great time in America, and it's going to be a great time for American and Pakistani relationships. I wouldn't come invest billions of dollars here if I didn't believe that government to government could work on its own, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe there was an incredible capital base of human capital here that we can really raise up, and we can do great things. Look, if you bring energy and metals and you upgrade things here in the country, so we want to do critical minerals here. The problems that Africa and places have had is the Chinese have been taking those critical minerals. They've gotten them at a very low price. The country doesn't really benefit much at all. They take them back to China where they upgrade them. I think over time it's very important that we have a lot of the processing and upgrading here in Pakistan as we can develop that. And you create a whole environment, whether it be the defense sector or other sectors, to supply these products, not only to America, but all over the world. And that's, to me, very, very important. When you do that, by the way, and when you get energy infrastructure and energy prices down as a result of growing your production. Look, I come from the oil and gas space. I grew up in that business in Texas. And I would tell you, I look at this as a huge opportunity in Pakistan because I see the infrastructure is already in place. Your natural gas infrastructure throughout this country is already in place for the most part. What you have to do is now go develop more natural gas. You can do that. That's doable here. If you do that, now, by the way, by having cheaper power, you can build data centers. Now, once you build data centers, now you can train people, you can have back office, you can have all types of other businesses that spur off of that. You've now put a foundational piece in place to build an incredible defense sector, to build an AI sector here, to build all the technology things you need. Without those foundational pieces, and energy, cheap energy, is an absolute of paramount importance to doing.
Great ideas, but you have been interacting with the business leaders, the politicians, etc., etc. Do you think they have the capacity to implement what you have said?
If they will enable the regulatory environment and the regulatory structure, look, we're already seeing interest rates come down here.
Yes.
I think, you know, the IMF has had quite a grip on the country as of late, and I think it's important that the IMF back off a bit and give Pakistan some room to
some breathing space.
Yes. We need that. I think it's very important. Look, you look at things like home ownership here. Many more middle-class Pakistani people should have homes. Our first area of focus here in the very beginning is real estate. Okay? It's very quick. It's doable. We have the right partners. I don't need any politicians to help us execute. All I need is people to create the right regulatory environment and let us execute. My first trip to Pakistan was a few weeks ago, and I told them, I'll be back within a month. We will sign an MOU, and then within a month after that, we'll have our designs ready to go. Our team is already here on the ground working in terms of real estate. We will have agreements closing these opportunities in real estate within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And you know what we need to bear in mind? The lower middle class here can barely afford houses because
Yes.
there is almost no concept of mortgages like you have
That
in the
needs to
US and
change.
UK. That needs to change. But with the interest rate of 25%, now we are down to 12%. You can barely have.
And it's going lower, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I would tell you that is key. We are going to bring mortgages. We're going to bring a mortgage business to Pakistan. It's something we're working hard on right now and looking to evaluate. We are going to build both very high-end, luxury, branded products. We're going to have you might like one of these homes. We're going to have the highest-end homes that have ever been. We're going to have the highest-end homes that have ever been built in Pakistan.
So will you be taking Pakistani banks on board, or will you? How would it work with the banking sector?
So as it relates to this first project, we have all the capital that we need.
Right.
So we don't necessarily need Pakistani banks for that first project, but absolutely we want to work with local banks. We've even considered owning a bank in Pakistan. And so the answer is yes. We need the right banking partners to ultimately set up a mortgage business for Pakistani people. One of the great things about America, one of the most significant wealth creators, and President Trump knows this so well, that we've had in America, has the ability for home ownership. Because as things grow and the tide lifts these boats, which is going to occur here in Pakistan, now you make so much money from your home. It unlocks a tremendous amount of equity. So we are very excited about that potential. I talked about the high-end luxury. We're also bringing a partner with us that has really perfected a new construction technology for building mid and lower income housing that's very high-end feel. And we're building it for lower costs than we could build a mobile home in the United States. It's an incredible product. And it uses a little less steel, more concrete, but the technology behind it is exceptional. It's one of the things they've used in Turkey to build a tremendous amount of housing, which has really been a tenet of President Erdogan's whole strategy of getting home ownership up in Turkey. He's done a great job there in that area, and we plan on bringing that same technology. We gave a great presentation on it yesterday. We're going to bring that same technology here to Pakistan, and we're going to use it to scale houses for the middle and lower income, and we're going to help those people achieve mortgages in Pakistan. That's
good to hear that, Mr. Beach. You've been a great financier of President Donald Trump's few campaigns, and I believe it's more to do with him being anti-war as well. Anti-what? War.
Anti-war is very important. He believes in peace and prosperity.
Right.
It's the Democrats that have started all these wars, and he's had to fix them. So I think you'll see, but the answer is yes to your question.
He fixed the first one, and he has promised he will probably bring solution to Ukraine war as well.
You will, in my opinion, you will see that war end very soon.
I hope his administration won't pick up fights with Pakistan as well. He's been anti-war.
Look, I would tell you, President Trump has very clear, defined principles. He loves people. He is a great lover of life. He's a great lover of the American spirit, and he's a great lover of prosperity. They've thrown everything they can at this man. They've tried to put him in jail. They've tried to kill him. But God has protected him. And I would tell you, this is a guy this is a president that we have that is, he's the most remarkable man, one of the most remarkable men in history. And the opportunities that he's going to bring to the whole world, including Pakistan, are second to none. It's just a huge opportunity for us to bring his ideas and his mindset to align with a country like Pakistan and grow together. Because the growth opportunities here, the foundational pieces are here. You're just missing a little bit of the sauce you need. And we can bring that sauce.
Do you think his administration or President Donald Trump himself has any favorite political party or political leader in Pakistan?
Look, I would tell you, I think...
that's the perception being created over the social media by, millions of Pakistanis sitting in the US and here and there.
I would tell you, I think President Trump will get along very well with the current leadership in this country. I believe he will be supportive, and I believe they understand the things they need to do to work well with President Trump. That's my opinion.
There is also a perception one fine morning he might wake up and said, look, release Imran Khan. And he will put pressure on Pakistan in order to do that.
Look, I don't know his views on Imran Khan. I would tell you I haven't heard anything about that or seen hints of that at all. I believe that President Trump believes strongly in law and order and honesty.
And not meddling in political affairs of another country?
I think absolutely he believes in law and order. And I think Pakistan has a great environment of law and order here. And so I don't see any reason why President Trump isn't going to get along really well with the current leadership and work very hard with them. I'm not an expert on Imran Khan, but I would say that I think it's going to be a great partnership between the U.S. government and the current government here. Richard
Grenell, integral part of President Trump administration.
Yes.
He wakes up probably every other morning and tweets free Imran Khan. I believe he has stopped doing this now. But,
yes.
He can influence President Trump.
I would say that Rick Grenell, who I know very, very well, is one of the finest Americans that I've ever met. He gets more done in a week than most people do in a year. He's absolutely incredible. He's incredibly effective, incredibly smart, incredibly humble. I'm in awe of Ambassador Grenell. I would say I do believe that he may have been misled around some of these issues by certain individuals. I believe that, as you probably know, there's a lobby in the United States spending $2 to $3 million or maybe even more per month related to Imran Khan. And while I'm not an expert on any of these things, I would tell you I do believe that Ambassador Grenell probably has a better understanding of the true evidence today than he did before. And I would be surprised if he were to...
tweet again.
I would be surprised. He's his own person and he'll do what he decides to do, but I do believe that he is supportive of American interests here, and I do believe he is supportive of the current administration here as well, and business people like myself that are here working to make the bridge and rebuild the bridge. Look, currently Ambassador Grenell is having to clean up messes from the Biden administration all over the world. He's the perfect person to do it. He's one of the most effective people I know, and I do believe President Trump loves him dearly, and he's a huge asset to America.
Have you had a chance to have a word with Ambassador Grenell or his team about, about his streets, etc.? And
I've spoken with Ambassador Grenell briefly, and I think he expressed to me that he has a better understanding of the facts today than he did before. And I would be surprised if he, retweets any of the things he was doing before. I think he understands that there's probably a much more complicated situation at play. He may have been misled by some individuals, and I think he probably has a better understanding. So,
Mr. Beach, thank you so much for your time, and hope to see